Welcome to the Rocket Right Show, starring Hurricane Betsy Barnes and Dr. K. Solar. Two busy blondes with their fingers on the pulse of all things Louisiana. Events, health, leisure, entertainment, and more. It's the Rocket Right Show. And now, here's Betsy and Kay.
We are just thrilled that you chose to rock it right with us. We're really excited about tonight's show. You're going to be hearing a little bit about some of the things going on in and around Louisiana with some of our most important topics. Food, with Dr. Mike Strain, our Commissioner of Agriculture, as well as the Atchafalaya National Heritage Area with the new Executive Director, Justin Lemoine. And we're going to be sharing a few good little treats, too.
Oh,
I see you have some
yes.
more sweets.
I'm going to say, you know, they say you can have your cake and eat it, too. Well, this you can have your cake and drink it, too. And so you're going to find out more about our boozy cupcakes and where we get those from, in case you want some too. And then we're going to rock out with Chris LeBlanc. So
we are.
To end the show. So you want to stay with us the entire hour.
So if you have been watching and listening, you know that we are really champions for our Louisiana way of life. We are two busy blondes on the go, spelled the correct way, G-E-A-U-X, showing off life in Louisiana. And we're so grateful to have the opportunity to do that. And so we wanted to invite one of our favorite people, Dr. Mike Strain, who is our Commissioner of Agriculture, who has done a phenomenal job over the last, I believe, 12 years.
12 years, yes.
Re-elected last year, so for the third time.
Fourth now.
Fourth time,
Can
my
you believe
goodness.
that?
I can.
It goes by so fast.
I can.
Yes, believe it or not, when I walked in the Capitol, I was 39 years old as a freshman legislator, right?
Wow.
Well, this year I turned 62, so you tell me how fast that went by, and it was like a blink of an eye.
It flew by.
It flew by. Yes, it goes by quickly.
And in
yes.
all those years, you've seen and made history in Louisiana.
Well, that's part of it.
Yeah.
You know, you can either study history or be a part of it, right? There's so many things, and of course, everything around us is always in constant change.
That's right.
And we know that now, right?
Right.
But, you know, in each generation, we are judged not by the issues of the day, but how we deal with them and how we take those issues and move forward and have a better world is where we're going. So there's so many exciting things going on in Louisiana and in agriculture. You know, and we're growing. You know, our agricultural base is growing, our crops are growing, you know, our exports are growing. So it's a great time to be in agriculture and in forestry. You know, and I'm over agriculture, forestry, and aquaculture, and rural economic development. So many different things going on. But we have a very bright and strong future ahead of us. We've got to get through this disease, which we are.
Yes.
You know, a vaccine is on its way. It's going to be here, you know, shortly, and that's a great thing. And then the other part of that is that we're going to learn how to live in this new age where disease can be in one part of the world and within a few days can be across the world, and develop the technologies for rapid development of vaccine. And so that's what's exciting about this. You're seeing new technologies that have never been used in human vaccine development before come into play to develop these new vaccines. So that's all exciting too.
And I think there's really a lot of concern about what is going to be used in the vaccines. Are these vaccines going to be safe long term? And so some of those things we're going to have to do some research on.
But we have to really get this vaccine out. They're using a technology called messenger RNA, something we've used in veterinary medicine for a long time. And they're developing, these are live vaccines. And so right now, you know, Pfizer and other companies are doing clinical trials. They're going to be vaccinating 30,000 people in the next couple of weeks worldwide with the new Pfizer vaccine. But there are a number of companies simultaneously developing vaccines, most using the same technologies. And so from the initial trials, they will see if there are any untoward effects. But we have to get this vaccine. We have to get our people vaccinated, and the quicker the better. Because the only other way that we keep from getting the disease is by non-exposure. What that means is if the disease continues over time, right, until we develop sufficient background immunity, what you call herd immunity, and that's a veterinary term, right?
That's
herd
right.
immunity, this disease will continue, and it may become what we call endemic. In other words, it will be within our population. So a vaccine is critical. So it's like the race for a polio vaccine, right? So, you know, you think back into the time with Jonas Salk and how long it took to develop that vaccine in those early days when they had very poor understanding of what viruses are. But now they can take and study the DNA and the footprint of these viruses very, very quickly. And they also have a lot of understanding because, we have a limited number of COVIDs, the coronaviruses in humans, actually 7 main ones. And the first
and a lot of
four
people
are the
never
common
heard of
colds.
it before. Yeah, a lot of people never even heard of coronavirus before.
Well,
Well, I
common
think they
cold.
didn't connect
Right.
it.
The common
They just didn't
cold
connect
are the first
Yeah.
four.
You know,
And then you had SARS, subacute respiratory syndrome, which came from civet cats in a rural area of China. And then a few years later you had MERS, right, which is another COVID that came from dromedary camels into people, and now the COVID-19. And that originated, as we believe, right, in bats and in pangolins, and then into the human population. So the majority of new diseases that we will face on this earth will come from the animal kingdom. And of course, these viruses, they're ancient. These COVIDs, these coronaviruses, and predominantly in bats, they're very, very old. And we only have now 7 that affect humans. There are, many, many, many more in bats. And if you look historically, you can trace the movement of one common cold virus, one COVID, mutating to another species. So that has happened over time, and they can look back historically and trace that back.
Well, your background in veterinary medicine certainly has helped you explain that and understand it and share that with other people, and especially people that are responsible for our crops and
Yes.
for livestock. And,
Yes, well, we have coronaviruses.
Yeah.
The coronaviruses, and again, went from horses to cattle. We have it in horses, we have it in cattle. We have a very similar virus that infects cats, feline enteric coronavirus. We used to call it FIP, feline infectious peritonitis. And many years ago, they had developed a vaccine for that, but it is a problem in multiple species, many different, canine, feline, and horses, cattle.
It certainly has taken hold of Louisiana, and now we're ranked number one
Number 1
in the
nation.
U.S., and it
wow.
just
per
is a
capita
shock.
for cases, yes.
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 So who would have thought?
Well,
6 months ago, who would have thought?
We've been working very, very closely. I serve in GOSEP with Governor
Yes.
John Bell Edwards, and from day one, he took a very hard stance in fighting, this particular disease, and I think he's done a tremendous job. But by watching the numbers, looking at the statistics, breaking down the science, and talking to the experts, we've watched the progression of this, and right now the disease is in the community. The minority of new cases come from communal gatherings, so they're in the community, and so it's changing the population that is being infected. And what we have to do is try to slow down to break the speed of the infection of the disease, number one, so we don't overwhelm our hospital systems, okay? And also the other idea is that we try to keep as many people healthy and safe as possible until we get a vaccine.
And just so if anybody's wondering, we all have our mask. We are sitting distanced apart, and we are taking every precaution that we can possibly take so we don't get it, and so
yeah.
we don't share it.
That's correct.
We want to
Right.
share the love, but not the coronavirus.
Not the coronavirus.
No.
That's
That's
correct.
right.
That's correct.
Yes. So, I'm always fascinated to talk with you because people don't realize, really, I think, the breadth of what you do. If they're not a farmer or they're not in agriculture, many people don't realize that not only you're over the crops, some of the seeds, people have gotten, well, you're going to talk about that in a minute. People
Yeah.
have gotten some surprise seed
Yes.
packages from China. But
Right.
But you're over weights and measures. You're over a lot of things coming in and out of the ports. And so I wanted to ask you, first of all, about our food. When Corona happened or COVID became so, we were concerned because we saw videos of different farmers just destroying their own crops and things. But nobody in
Yeah.
Louisiana really wants to destroy our food because we have the best food in the country.
We do. We have the best food. We are blessed. We are blessed. We have the best food in the country, the best soil.
And we know
the
how to
finest
cook it.
seafood. We absolutely do. But what happens anytime there is such a national emergency, you have a change in the overall consumption patterns, right?
Yes.
A change in the buying patterns, but also when you look at our food delivery system, right? We are on a very, very streamlined, food system. Everything
Yes.
from point of origin, from the seeds or from the eggs or the chicks, all the way to the final product. And immediately when the restaurants shut down, they use different types of cuts of meat, they use different types of eggs, they use different things than the retail. And so we had to make that shift. But what happened also, we didn't have sufficient people in the processing to where they could process those foods. So you saw some areas where milk that normally goes to cheese, and then the cheese market, there was no access for that. But you can't go from a cheese facility to a bottling plant, right?
Right.
Because everything is streamlined. And so what happened, there was disruption in the supply chain, and our job was to correct those disruptions. You had in your major food processing plants, beef, pork, poultry, where you lost 2/3 of the people that work in the plant. And so what happened is that you could not process that beef, that pork, or that chicken. Now, you never ran out of beef, pork, or chicken. You may not have gotten the cut you wanted, but you never ran out. And so one of our jobs was to get people to work, to go through these processing plants and these factories to make them safe, and also, though, to make sure that there was always the availability of the basic food supply, no matter what, until we could stand things back up. And you're going to see a big shift, a lot of shifts in the way food is processed and produced as we go into the future.
Well, it's so important that we make sure we understand we have enough food. We have enough food in Louisiana, and we're not as concerned about the cut of meat as we are that we have the meat.
That's
and the
right,
seafood.
and we have the seasonings, right?
And we have the seasonings.
We got to have the seasonings,
That's right? And we are
That's
champions for Louisiana, locally owned and operated businesses, and also those products. We are really.
Well, our mantra is buy fresh, buy local, and buy Louisiana.
That's right.
Absolutely.
We're gonna stick with Dr. Mike Strain, our Ag Commissioner, and then we're gonna be right back after Dr. Strain. We're gonna talk with Justin Lemoine, and then we'll have a little Chris LeBlanc in the studio to be able to shuck and jive with us a little bit before the end of the show. So hang tight. We're going to be right back with Dr. Mike Strain, Commissioner of Agriculture for the great state of Louisiana.
Because I want to know about those seeds.
That's
just
right.
in case I get some in the mail, and I bet everybody out there does too.
Exiles from what you ask? Exiled from the radio. But now, we're on your television.
I'm Bill Profita, he's Kevin Gallagher, and they kicked us to the curb.
But we're back.
We are back with Exiles Television on the Pelican Broadcasting Network. We're going to bring you the newsmakers. We're also going to take your calls and give you great information. It's going to be the best damn radio show on television.
Look for it on your cable system or download the app, PelicanSportsTV.com.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser. I've had my fair share of experiences with disasters, and I know Louisiana's helping one another is as much a part of our culture as gumbo and Mardi Gras. When it comes to disasters, you can help your community most by getting trained as a volunteer to help with the disaster recovery. For more information about this, visit the websites below and be prepared.
Shaw. We all know Louisiana is as fun as all get out. So get out, take a road trip, and explore our state. Fill her up, then try a new restaurant that's as fun-loving as it is food-loving. Grab the family and take off for monumental adventures at our 21 state parks. Or take a magical minivan tour along our 19 scenic trails and byways. Louisiana's a trip. Take one today.
This is Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser. Plan your road trip at LouisianaStaycation.com.
Since the early 1800s, the Selassie family has played a significant role in the retail industry in Louisiana. Stuart Selassie has achieved the Certified Diamond Graduate designation from the prestigious Gemological Institute of America. What that means to you, whether it's appraisals, design, build, repair, or diamond sales, you have an expert you can count on. At Selassie's, you make all the right choices. Selassie Jewelry and Fine Gifts, in the heart of the Denham Springs Antique District. Find them on Facebook.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
the Rocket Right show. Yeah,
not just radio.
TV. We got it all going on here. And our medical segment, we are proud to have brought to you each week by Mary Bird Perkins, Our Lady of the Lake Cancer Center. So we're talking a little medicine. We just got a little good vaccine story and history on coronavirus. But you very intrigued me because a friend of mine did get some of those seeds from China. And I called and found out about that from her and got the scoop. So how many folks in Louisiana are getting these seeds, and how's that happening?
As of today, more than 300. Start off, we got a phone call on Thursday afternoon, last Thursday.
So this is new.
This is brand new. And a lady said, look, I got some seeds from China, and it's just in a packet. I said, we'll come pick them up. And then we went out on the air and said, look, if anyone else has received those, and so by Friday afternoon, we were in the hundreds, and as of today, over 300. We're probably by the end of the week, more than 500 people. And so what's happening, these packages are labeled as jewelry, earbuds, earrings, and then a couple of garden supply. And they're coming, if you look at the label, because it's coming through the mail, it says China, Uzbekistan, Solomon Islands, some areas in Russia. And so we're trying to track all that down. It's all different types of seeds. And so, in the United States, if you've ever traveled abroad, when you come in, the first thing they're going to ask you, do you have any seeds, plants, or food, right? And so we don't allow any foreign material in because, one, we worry about invasive species. Think about giant salvinia. Think about the rosocane mealybug. Think about all these different, the apple snail, all these things that we fight, can come in either as an invasive plant, the Kogan grass and other things, or kudzu is one of the first that we had to deal with, right? Everybody knows what that is.
Yes.
But in addition to the plant being an invasive species, it could also harbor diseases, insects, fungus, virus, bacteria, that could be detrimental up to, extremely harmful to our crops. And so what we've picked up so far, and we're working with appropriate federal authorities, is a whole mixture of different types of seeds. And so some we have tentatively identified, but we're telling people, do not open these packages. You don't know what's inside. Do not open them. And for heaven's sake, don't plant them.
Well, and it's crazy. My friend said, I'm older. I was going to work in my garden some, so I didn't want to get out and go to the store. So I had ordered some seeds from Amazon, but she said, I knew these weren't seeds that they. No. I did not order
all
these.
Of these are illegal.
Are they targeting individuals who may have ordered those type of products, or how are
so far,
folks
and talking to my federal counterparts at Animal Plant Health Inspection Service, what we call APHIS, they have not made a correlation between Amazon or any ordering and these individuals. So we're trying to determine if it is there's a random mechanism, or if it is the result of something you ordered online. So we're telling everyone, again, in addition to call us, and you can call us at 225-925-4733. That's 925-4733. Do not plant them. Do not handle them. Call us. But also check your credit card this month. Because in case someone is going to be billing you your credit card, right? Check it and check all your credit cards. Check
hackers
your
are
checkbook,
crazy
right, to see what's going on. Because someone went through extreme expense. As of last week, there were only about 4 or 5 states. As of today, we're up to 30 states across the United States. So someone spent, in the 7 figures of money, not 6 figures, 7 figures of money, sending these seeds out across the United States. And our primary concern is that if we get something here that is detrimental to our economy, detrimental to our crops, detrimental to our food supply.
That's right.
You think about the diseases we fight. We normally get 1 or 2 new invasive plant pests or diseases in the state per year.
Wow.
Florida gets an average of 11 because of Miami, Florida.
That's crazy.
But 1 or 2. And so normally when we're talking on the air, we're talking about what is the new invasive problem. And like the rosocane, the mealybug, right, which is wiping out the rosocane, on our coast in the mouth of the river, which will cause us to lose our coast, if we're not careful. So we're fighting with that. We have a new invasive species, the Gava root knot nematode, that has come in and just a few years ago was, in China, and now it's here, and it can be devastating. And quarantine. If we find it in a field, we destroy the entire field. And and so you think about the other things, the apple snail. In 2006, they found one in a canal in Gretna. Someone dumped an aquarium out. These apple snails were used to clean the aquarium. So that's how we also think we probably got giant salvinia, or that we might have gotten some of these like duckweed and other things, and it wasn't put there intentionally, but it got into the environment. And so in this particular case, this has been intentionally sent across the United States. And so the fear is that, if this gets into the crops, it gets into the wind. And if you look at, what's the probability of that? If you look at what we know about citrus greening or citrus canker, if you read all the textbooks, say, it can only transmit 100 yards. That's not true. It can move on lawn equipment, and in a storm, it can move a long ways.
Right.
And so that is devastated.
The way we flood, the way our winds go.
And it's devastated the citrus industry, and we're fighting back really hard. But these are the things, and it's part of our job, because that, plant protection and quarantine, horticulture and quarantine is under my jurisdiction. And so we are fighting very hard, working with our friends in the federal government. And again, we really thank you and everyone else for getting the message out and everybody cooperating. And so don't be afraid to call us. Don't be scared to call us.
And definitely don't throw them away.
Do not throw them away, and do not plant them. And
don't
do not
throw them
open
away.
that package.
Don't plant them. Don't open the package. Call y'all. An agent will come by and pick them up.
That's
because
right.
that way you'll know, is there anything harmful in there? Because I'm assuming y'all are analyzing these seeds that are being picked up.
We are sending them to the USDA because you have to go into a very controlled laboratory.
Right.
We're not going to open them in our seed lab.
Right.
So you have to be in the proper lab with the proper technicians and the proper equipment to analyze this. Okay, so think about if you were dealing with something infectious, right? So we have to take all necessary precautions.
Absolutely.
So we're sending it up to the USDA, right? It's coming in sealed. We're logging it in. We're taking the records, but then we're going to send it to the USDA where they will further analyze and take a look at this.
For somebody to spend that much money and send it from a foreign government, they're up to no good. I hate to be a conspiracy theorist here about this,
but it's obvious.
It's
right?
obvious. Nobody's giving you something for nothing.
Right. But people think, this is so great. Maybe my husband ordered it. Maybe my son or daughter ordered it.
Let's just see what it is.
Let's see
right?
what it is.
Don't see what it is. We would say, we're going to put on our Facebook page that phone number just in case you don't remember it. So if you do get some of these crazy seeds in the mail.
And you can also email us, seed@ldaf.state.la.us.
And we'll put that up
and we'll
as
share
well.
both of those.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Thank you. We really appreciate that. So there's a lot going on. Our phones
got
have
a
been
lot going
It's
on.
crazy.
It's always crazy though, at my office.
Just when you got all these other things, and you add something else to your list.
That's right. That's our job. That's our job.
Well, if you're just tuning in, we are speaking with Dr. Mike Strain, our wonderful Commissioner of Agriculture, who is over so much of what we eat, what we plant, what we do, what we grow, what we raise. Yeah. And so we want to ask you a little bit, it's been in the news quite a bit, about the medical marijuana. Mm-hmm. That has become quite the historic topic. So tell us a little bit about where things stand with medical marijuana.
Well, as you know, the legislature in the last session changed the law, and I think you're going to see a continual evolution of the law to where now any physician can make and give an opinion, what would basically a recommendation to a patient with any chronic debilitating disease, whatever that is. And then they can take it to one of the 9 medical marijuana pharmacies and get that script filled. And so in addition to that, very recently, Southern now has come online with their products. So you have both LSU and Southern have products that are in the market. So they have a variety of markets, and you're going to see a number of different products. And these different products have different levels of THC versus CBD. And also what you're seeing is that Southern, and probably LSU soon to follow, are selling CBD products too through those pharmacies. So they're selling a number of different things, and a lot of times those mixtures are tailored to specific disease conditions. And so that's been very, very helpful. And a lot of people will tell you that they get great relief from those particular products, and so that's good. And now we're also doing research. Since the states are allowing medical marijuana, then now you're starting to see research using these particular products. There's research going on at Cornell. Also, the Veterans Administration is looking at research with veterans on post-traumatic stress disorder. and trying to understand this plant. This plant is a very, very complicated plant. It produces many different things. You talk about, not only THC, but also the CBDs and other things. And then you have hemp. And the difference between hemp and marijuana is the level of THC. So they're different strains. And those hemp plants have a large number of different organic compounds. And we're just beginning to understand the different receptors and the medical uses of that. So a lot of research is going to be going on, and because we didn't do research, since the 30s, 1937,
right,
when it was, when it was outlawed, marijuana was outlawed.
So there's a lot of people that are happy to hear about the changes in that law because they have different conditions they think that it would benefit, and then that's always going to be controversial, I think.
Well, but I don't think anyone has a problem if you have a medical condition and you need this product. If you have a medical condition and there's any drug that can help you, then we have a responsibility to make sure it becomes available. And so that's what's going on, and that's what's happened. We're the first state in the union where the state, right, is in the medical marijuana pharmaceutical business.
Well, we are very thankful that you could be with us, Dr. Mike Strain.
Thank you. It's always fun.
Agriculture.
It's always fun.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
And we could talk more. We'll have to have you back.
We will.
But up next, Bets.
Yes.
We're going to be speaking with Justin Lemoine over the Atchafalaya National Heritage Area. What a beautiful, just gem of our culture. So we'll be right back.
All right.
Since the early 1800s, the Selassie family has played a significant role in the retail industry in Louisiana. Stuart Selassie has achieved the Certified Diamond Graduate designation from the prestigious Gemological Institute of America. What that means to you, whether it's appraisals, design, build, repair, or diamond sales, you have an expert you can count on. At Selassie's, you make all the right choices. Selassie Jewelry and Fine Gifts, in the heart of the Denham Springs Antique District. Find them on Facebook.
I was diagnosed October 19th. I immediately started with a multitude of scans, and then I was having an 8-hour surgery. My biggest concern was my family and being able to see me come home every day and know everything is going to be okay. I felt comfortable that I was being treated by some of the best. There were some scary points along the way, but it's just kind of like been a little blip in the road.
Money, wellness, fun. Rocket Right Radio takes you all across Louisiana and the nation with guests who live life to the fullest.
I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
I'm Dr. Kay Solar.
You're gonna love it.
Join us every week when we cover
Everything under the sun.
Live and learn with the Wright sisters.
Politics.
health,
Music and entertainment.
local agnet.
Rocket Right Radio. You're gonna love it.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hey y'all, I'm Amanda Shaw. We all know Louisiana is as fun as all get out. So get out, take a road trip, and explore our state. Fill her up, then try a new restaurant that's as fun-loving as it is food-loving. Grab the family and take off for monumental adventures at our 21 state parks. Or take a magical minivan tour along our 19 scenic trails and byways. Louisiana's a trip. Take one today.
This is Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser. Plan your road trip at LouisianaStaycation.com.
And welcome back to Rocket Right Radio and TV show. We're so glad that you could join us. Thank you so much for sharing a little bit of your time and letting us enjoy sharing some of the wonderful people from Louisiana with you. So we're really grateful for our sponsors. We have a couple of sponsors that we want to share with you that have partnered with us to bring you this show. One is Selassie Jewelry and Fine Gifts. I'd like to share with you a black sapphire bracelet and a ring that was repaired by Selassie's. The bracelet is a Philippe Gabriel. It is sterling silver and has black sapphires. And the ring is actually an heirloom, and I had the center stone replaced. They also helped me with the platinum setting. So I want to thank our friends Stuart and Renee Selassie. They also do a lot of work with people who accidentally drop rings down garbage disposals and can rebuild those. And we're going to have Stuart come back and tell you a little bit about that. You'd be surprised.
I haven't done that one, but my husband keeps losing things in the backyard. I think he lost his wedding ring twice, but so he'd have to miraculously have another one appear. But I think you have a job as a hand model, Betsy.
Do you think? I don't think so. But,
I think so.
But I do love Selassie's Jewelry and Fine Gifts in the antique district of Denham Springs, and also Advantage Health Solutions. Dr. Boyd Michael Helm works with people who are dependent or addicted on with opiates or heroin. And if you or loved one have a concern or are ready to take the next step towards help, please contact Dr. Boyd Michael Helm at Advantage Health Solutions at 225-769-6595. And he'll actually be on the show next week, so we'll be able to share that with you.
Yes.
But we're excited to have the new executive director of the Atchafalaya National Heritage Area, Justin Lemoine. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
So you have got a really big area to cover, but I want, before you tell everybody about the Atchafalaya, which is a gorgeous, beautiful place, and none other like it in the country. Tell us a little bit about your background, because you've been promoting the Louisiana culture and the Baton Rouge community through a couple of things before coming to the Atchafalaya National Heritage Area.
That's correct. I'm a landscape architect by trade, and myself and a group of friends created what's called the Mid-City Makers Market here in Baton Rouge, which is a cultural market that highlights, culinary delights of the state of Louisiana, local live music, and lots of local art and cultural products that are developed by people in the Atchafalaya Basin and beyond.
Well, since you pointed out the cupcakes, we are going to have to offer you one instead of having you just look at them. So, and you had mentioned I got these from Chef Schoenberg, who has been a participant, right?
That's right. Amanda Schoenberg, Chef Schoenberg has been one of our makers at the market for the last several years, and she actually made my wife's birthday cake this year during COVID, no less. And so I'm very familiar with her boozy cupcakes, and I will absolutely take one.
Absolutely. So this is her Bourbon Street Boy, which has Maker's Mark in it, so a little bit boozy there. Or you can go more girly here and with the pina colada. I think it's called Sex in the City. If you look at her items, though, it's a TV show, y'all. Okay.
That's right.
But what is your preference?
So that I don't have chocolate in my teeth the entire time I'm talking.
I'll
take one of the pina coladas.
Awesome.
So one of the things when we met that I just thought was so neat is how you just love promoting the culture and the individual talent of people that are true artists.
Yeah.
And you just have that passion for it. And I think that that's so important in kind of being able to represent who we are.
Yeah, I was one of those people that was a boomerang. I moved to Texas after college, and then I came back after a year because there was so much great stuff that was going on in Baton Rouge and in Louisiana as a region. And I want to be one of those people that helps other people in the state to understand and feel pride in how unique we are as the state of Louisiana. We might not do everything right every time, but we do food right, we do music right, we do outdoor environment right, and we know how to manage water even if sometimes it backs up on us a little bit. So, I want more people to feel the pride in our area like I do.
You know what? We feel the same way, and that's why we even started our show 5 years ago, because we felt like we were meeting some of the neatest, coolest people, and they weren't trying to get attention. They really weren't, and they were just doing what they did for the love of Louisiana, some aspect of our culture, our people. And so, we just applaud the fact that that's who you are, because we love sharing the story behind the story. And that's why I wanted to ask you about your background.
Yeah, thank you. No, I appreciate it. It was one of the things that drew me to this, the Atchafalaya job, and I was born and raised in Avoyelles Parish in the heart of the Atchafalaya National Heritage Area, and I've lived in Baton Rouge for 20 years, and I can't imagine not being proud and celebrating the place that I call home.
Yeah. So the Atchafalaya National Heritage Area is a very large area, and there's nothing like it in the U.S. So tell us a little bit about why it's unique and why there's nothing like it.
So the Atchafalaya National Heritage Area starts in Concordia Parish up just due west of Natchez, Mississippi, and stretches all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico, all the way to Homa and the Gulf Coast. What's unique about it is it's the largest fresh river swamp in North America. It is home to 270 bird species. It's on the migratory bird path from Canada down to South America during the winter. It's home to over 85 species of fish, a lot of different things that actually have overlap with what Dr. Strain was talking about earlier.
Yes.
And what's absolutely unique about it is the way that the cultures of the Native Americans, of the West Africans, of the Europeans, and of the Canadians have all blended together to create, as Kelsey with the cultural districts will say, it's not really just a gumbo, it's more of a mosaic of culture and history that makes us unique among the country. We're America's foreign country, the Atchafalaya National Heritage Area.
Well, we're America's foreign country, and there's no better place to take photos, to enjoy different experiences with your family. You can do everything from canoe, kayak, fish,
great weekend
birding.
getaways. Or a lot of people can be weekday getaways these days.
That's right. Our job at Atchafalaya is to promote all of the different aspects of the Atchafalaya National Heritage Area, not only to people locally in Louisiana, but regionally and then across the country and then around the world. We're involved with other heritage areas all up and down the Gulf Coast, all the way up into almost I guess on our northern border closer to Canada. And you know, what we are promoting now, especially in the age of COVID, in the age of social distance, is there is no better place to social distance than the Atchafalaya Basin. It's one of the, you know, there are very vast areas that are sparsely inhabited, so you can go with a large group of friends, stay 6, 10, 12 feet apart in a kayak, and experience the largest freshwater swamp in North America. And you know, you can do it with the swamp-based scout guides. You can do it on a bike trail. There's a 55-mile bike trail through the Atchafalaya Basin. You can do it.
Really?
If
I
you're
did not know about
adventurous.
the bike trail.
That's right.
I should have known about the
You
bike trail.
don't have to do all 55 miles in a day.
No, I wouldn't be able to do all
55
55 miles in a day. I think I'd have to take it little by little. I'd have to go bed and breakfast to, you know.
You'd have to work
right.
up on that. We're like, you know.
Well, that's the great thing about
But
the
there are
basin
people who
is
can.
I know.
there are so many different things you can do, and you can support small mom and pop bed and breakfast. You can go and support the small bike stores. You can support the small outdoor outfitters and get your kayak, get your bait and tackle from a local mom and pop grocery store, as well as your boudin, your meat pies, your jambalaya.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a boudin sandwich for breakfast when you're about to go fishing is probably about the best thing that exists on this planet.
You are so right. You are so
That
right.
sounds
And you
pretty
know,
darn
and so
good.
if people, you know, want to know about that, they can just call you, right?
Well, they can call me. They can go to atchafalaya.org and check out our website, and they can go to Louisiana Travel and check out their website and see, because you know, the story of the Atchafalaya Basin, starting where it forms at the Red and Mississippi rivers in Concordia Parish, all the way down the Gulf, is the story of, you know, the water that drains 41% of the northern United States coming through here. And so, you know, the travel industry as well as the Atchafalaya National Heritage Area do a really good job of telling that story.
And you know, people don't realize when they live up north how we do receive all of their water.
Yeah.
They don't seem to realize it, but somehow we make it work out.
Well, you know, we receive
I mean, the
water
best we can.
We receive water from the Texas Panhandle that goes through the Red River and goes up into Oklahoma and goes into Arkansas and then back down into Louisiana and then joins up and comes down the Atchafalaya Basin. So, you know, the Atchafalaya, the water that you see coming down the Atchafalaya, was probably once somewhere in Texas.
That's really fascinating.
Being from that area, is there a particular area that you go, man, I just love this spot, and this would be a cool thing for someone like to do? There's so many areas, so it may be like your babies, it's hard to pick one, but what would you say?
It is.
Check into this.
You know, I already booked a cabin in Lake Falls Point State Park because they've got cabins out over the water that are just absolutely gorgeous. So if you don't want a tent camp, you can glamp in luxury in one of the state park cabins. But then I'll also just throw it back to Lake Ophelia or Spring Bayou Wildlife Management Area up in Avoyelles Parish in Marksville. That's, as a kid, that's where we went fishing. Get up at 3 a.m., get in the boat, and spend a day out on the water looking at some of the most beautiful cypress trees you'll ever see.
And you probably had to have a big boudin sandwich if you got up at 3 o'clock in the morning to last all day.
And a honey bun.
And a honey bun.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to know anything about the Atchafalaya, any place to go, or any of the places that Justin Lemoine just mentioned, you need to go to atchafalaya.org, or you need to call and what is your phone number for the office?
You know, I just blanked on it because I've only been there for 6 weeks.
Oh,
and I don't have it memorized yet.
you can
But you know
call-
what? If you go to
you can call-
atchafalaya.org, the website,
Yes.
the phone number is on the website.
And then y'all can say, hey, Justin, what do I do?
That's right. What do I do? Where do I go? And you know, it's going to be a great day, whatever you do there. It's going to be beautiful. And we just thank you so much for coming to share with us. And we look forward to you coming back
Absolutely.
and sharing a little bit more. We haven't even let you eat your cupcake.
I mean, we kept you talking
You know
so much,
what?
you didn't
I know.
even get
We
to
got,
have your
what,
cupcake.
15 seconds left. I'll take
That's
a
right.
bite.
And we're going to be right back with Chris LeBlanc with a little blues, a little soul, and a little funk music. And we'll be right back on Rock It Right Show.
Having a good time.
That's right.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser. I've had my fair share of experiences with disasters, and I know Louisiana's helping one another is as much a part of our culture as gumbo and Mardi Gras. When it comes to disasters, you can help your community most by getting trained as a volunteer to help with the disaster recovery. For more information about this, visit the websites below and be prepared.
Clarence Bug Show. Yeah, I'm back on the air. That's right, 10 a.m. until 12 noon, Monday and Wednesday, and we replay it Monday and Wednesday nights, 10 p.m. to midnight. Check us out online. You can watch it live at PelicanSportsTV.com, or better yet, why don't you just download the Pelican Broadcasting app? That way you can take it with you anywhere you go. That's right, the Clarence Bug Show. Tell you what, oh, wait, gotta run, gotta go, bye.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Since the early 1800s, the Selassie family has played a significant role in the retail industry in Louisiana. Stuart Selassie has achieved the Certified Diamond Graduate designation from the prestigious Gemological Institute of America. What that means to you, whether it's appraisals, design, build, repair, or diamond sales, you have an expert you can count on. At Selassie's, you make all the right choices. Selassie Jewelry and Fine Gifts in the heart of the Denham Springs Antique District. Find them on Facebook.
I had a meeting with Dr. Barfield, and it kind of just hit me. It probably is cancer. After the surgery, I wasn't scared anymore. I was looking forward to getting started with chemo. Not one time did I get a nurse in a bad mood. I was here for 5 hours at a time, and I did not dread coming. To get people from around the country to come to Baton Rouge, that says a lot right there, that this place is cutting edge.
Show. I'm Dr. Kay Solar in the house with Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
That's right.
And we are fixing to be rocking out with Mr. Chris LeBlanc.
Right on. Thank you for having me this evening.
Thank you for joining us.
We love you coming on the show every time because we love the way you play. We love the Baton Rouge blues, and we love everything that you do. And we're supporting our Louisiana musicians because we want to make sure in this online gig economy that people know when you're playing and when they can tune in because you have quite a following, us included. So we really enjoy you playing, but we look forward to seeing you in front of an audience.
Oh man, thank y'all so much. Well, I really thank you for giving me the opportunity to be with y'all. I always love visiting with you guys. Y'all are just sweetheart people to me.
We love you too.
And I'm really thankful for the moment to be with you guys and to have an opportunity to come on to your new show.
We're so excited
you guys are television rocking it.
Well, you know,
We're having a good
I
time.
love, because anytime I see you, I just go, life is good.
Life is good.
Because that is your motto, and it just
I'm trying to
makes
live
me
by
feel
it.
good.
Oh, thank you. I think it's one of those things where, like, you know, right now in the world where things are different, we should say, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's kind of about making your life good. You know what I mean? And,
Right.
And, you know, I think in time, you know, things are we'll see. You know what happens. I mean, everything's happening in timing right now, and it's a time for change. It's a time to kind of go back and realize what your purpose is, what your life-driven purpose is. I realize now that playing music has been just one of the most unbelievable blessings that I would have ever had in my life. That you know, you come across to people want music, they want to feel good, and music is that piece of people's lives.
It is.
You know?
It makes people feel good. It conjures up either memories of things. It helps get through hard times.
It does.
You know, there's a song for everything, and that song tends to make you think of a place and time where you were at when you heard that song.
Absolutely. I think that the music is the good medicine for people. Like when people are wherever they are in their life. If you're feeling good, let's feel better with music. If you're feeling down, let's feel better with music.
That's right.
You know, let's do something.
Even if it's a sad song.
Right.
It's still
I mean, if I'm singing songs about the blues or whatever, sad, that doesn't mean I'm sad. That just means I know where I can go.
Absolutely,
with
to get
music
you through that.
Yeah, because, you know, somebody's story or somebody's situation is going to be different than yours, and you never know. I mean, you know, I will say it, man. Over the last 5 months, can't believe I'm saying that it's been
I know.
5 months. That is so crazy. You know, I've had people, you know, of doing live streams and coming across to people that were needing this in their lives, and then but them coming later on and saying, you know, thank you for playing for me on a Saturday night when I couldn't leave my house. You know, this one I went and did whenever we had a moment here where we could go out and play. This woman came to me and she said, thank you for being there for me every Saturday, because it saved me from all of this that was going on. She's like, just having music and people. And for someone to tell you that, I mean, you're a doctor. When someone came to you and said, you saved me?
Yeah, I mean,
wow. I was
and music really is healing.
It is,
and
man.
People need that. And,
I need it. You need it.
And
We
we
all
need
need
to
it.
get back to where we can have more of that. But one of the things that the live streams did, and I know you told me that, you connected with people that you hadn't connected with in a while. People that saw you play in Kansas City or someplace else could connect online. And the great thing is that you can converse with those people, and it feels like you are right in their living room.
I am, yeah. When they're, you know, over the years of being able to go and tour and play different places, and then meeting people that I've been, that I've had connections with in my life that are living Hong Kong, Canada, Germany, all these people that, you know, one of my friends is in Hong Kong. He's doing mission work, and he's like, yeah, we've been on lockdown for months before you guys. And he's like, this has been an unbelievable thing. And, you know, to know that I can go on in my studio or here, or that you're here, and that right now, or while we're shooting this, we're doing this, but when this airs, this is going to be someone's medicine that is going to be like, oh wow, I'm so glad to see that they're doing this, or this just makes me feel good, or this is, I mean, the guests that you've had on this show have been incredible, and everybody's story and information, to bring Louisiana especially into the forefront of all of the true natural resource that we have here. I mean, great medicine, great tourism, great music, all of these things. We are our own place in this country that is so awesome.
Absolutely.
And we're not people that like to isolate. We love you, we feed you. We love you, we dance with you. We want to have a good time. We dance with strangers.
We want to feed you. Oh, and Chris, before you're done, I'm going to feed you some of these
you can tell I don't
cupcakes.
Like cupcakes. Are you kidding me?
So we're going to say that till the end because we don't want your mouth to be full because, as you said, music is medicine.
It is.
And feel good. What song would you want to play us right now and say, man, I know this is just going to make you feel good. Or I hope you feel good when you hear this, because I do.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I thought about this a lot, like in these moments, where everybody's, look, we are compassionate and loving people in Louisiana. You see someone, I see you, I want to hug you. I see you, I want to hug you because I got love in my heart for you. And from, in these moments, you can see people are like, okay, nice to see you. No, it's hard.
It's hard to refrain from that.
It does not feel natural.
Like, you want to, and then you like this. But
right. I want to play a little bit of a song that this, to me, is like a hug to the world.
I love that.
It's a hug to you. It's a hug to you.
I receive it.
These arms of mine, they are lonely, lonely and feeling blue. These arms of mine, they are yearning, yearning from wanting you. And if you would let them hold you, oh, how grateful I will be. These arms of mine, they are burning, burning from wanting you. And if you would let them hold you, oh, how grateful I will be. Come on, baby. Oh, now be my loving woman. Oh, treat me right. Oh, now, and I need somebody to treat me right. Oh, now, and I need your loving arms to hold me tight. Oh, I need your loving arms
was
That's
awesome.
why we love some Chris
And I
LeBlanc.
hope everyone out there felt that
Yes.
hug. And thank you so much. And if you don't know Chris LeBlanc, you should follow him. He is a Louisiana Music Hall of Fame artist.
Yes.
And
We were there when he received it.
Couldn't be more proud. And where should folks follow you? And tell them about your weekly live stream. And I think you got some friends that are hanging with you on some nights too.
Yes, every so often. So you can follow me on Facebook at The Chris LeBlanc Band. And also, my personal Facebook is Chris LeBlanc. And but follow me on The Chris LeBlanc Band. And I'm usually doing some live streams on Saturday night. It just so happens that this Friday night, I got a couple of friends, Kirk Holder, if you guys know of Kirk Holder,
Yes.
he's a local guy, Damon King, Charles Pierce, and then as well as, I've been inviting some friends to do some performances with me, because what better way to do it than get a little help from your friends, you know?
Get a little help from your friends. I
And
love that.
I always love watching CJ do his too, because
Aw,
I'm
thank
so
you.
proud of him. He is an incredible kid. I say
Well,
kid, he's an
you
incredible
were
young
one of
man.
his heroes and huge influences, and one of my fondest memories is when they opened for you at Phil Brady's.
I know.
When they were
told
little
him.
squirts, and you had to tune their guitars while they stood in the alley to go
Well,
in.
we told him, we were like, look, man, we got these kids that are coming open up for us and up in the nightclub, and of course the adults love it.
And they were like, Chris has the best fans ever, but they also love the fact that you have giant stacked speakers and the music
Oh,
was
yeah.
really loud
Yes.
and people were paying attention and their blue jeans were vibrating. It was the best, and I cannot wait till we can all get back to that type of
That's
music
right.
scenario
yes.
soon.
It's going to happen.
So, Chris, tell me, Chef Schomburg, known for her boozy cupcakes, we got Bourbon Street Boy with a little maker's mark in it, and we got the pina colada. And Chef Schomburg is going to be joining us next week on the show.
That's right.
And Betsy and I are going to bake a cake before then with her instruction, and we're going to have it so you can see how well we do. So make sure you tune in for that.
And we want to thank Partners One for being our premier studio sponsor. We also want to thank Jen Oken Photography and Laura Sue Events. So check them out. We appreciate them, Advantage Health Solutions, Selassie's Jewelry and Fine Gifts, and Pelican Broadcasting. We're so glad that Guarantee Media and Talk 107.3 FM and KWLA continue to carry us in East Texas, Western Louisiana, and the entire state. So thanks for tuning in, and just remember, if you're going to rock it, make sure you rock it right.
Woo!
All right.
Loving it. Have some fun.
Since the early 1800s, the Selassie family has played a significant role in the retail industry in Louisiana. Stuart Selassie has achieved the Certified Diamond Graduate designation from the prestigious Gemological Institute of America. What that means to you, whether it's appraisals, design, build, repair, or diamond sales, you have an expert you can count on. At Selassie's, you make all the right choices. Selassie Jewelry and Fine Gifts, in the heart of the Denham Springs Antique District. Find them on Facebook.